Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this next episode of the TÜV ASTP webinar series. Today we've got a very special session dedicated to ASTP Impact Awards, and more specifically to the outstanding stories and people behind this year's winning achievements. So if you've been to this year's annual conference in Bucharest, you for sure have already heard something about the winners. Maybe you even saw videos about their achievement, but like it is usually with annual conferences, there is always not enough time to talk, to ask questions. So today is your occasion to find out more about those winner cases. And if you missed this year annual conference, then maybe it's the first time that you will have a chance to hear about those stories. Two words about ASTP Impact Awards. This year we hosted them for the second time, and they are about celebrating knowledge transfer work that create real value, so value for researchers, for universities, for companies, for regions, and for society. There are three categories of the Impact Awards. First one is Initiative of the Year, and we've got a representative of the winner institution, which is ITQB Nova Innovation Office from Nova University in Lisbon, and we've got with us today Joanna Salta, Innovation Portfolio Manager. The second category is the Deal of the Year, which highlights a transaction, a spin-off, or a collaboration that shows the power of turning research into an impact. And the winner of this category this year is Nascent BV company and Hasselt University, from which this company was born. And we've got with us as a second speaker PJ the Queker, Innovation Manager from Hasselt University. And last but not least, our third pair of speakers come from Odessa National Economic University. And they are winners of the third category, Digital Innovation and AI Award, that celebrates the use of digital tools and in particular AI tools to improve, scale, and transform knowledge transfer practice. So I will now ask each of our great speakers for a short 10 minutes presentation describing their good practice, and then you will have a chance to ask your questions. On the right of the screen, you can see Q&A button. You just press it and you write down your question. So whenever you have a question during the presentation, please write it down. We will have probably time for one short question after each presentation, and then much more time after all the presentations. So without further ado, it's my pleasure to ask Joanna Salta as a first speaker. Joanna, please welcome to the stage, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Christian. I'm going to share. So again, I don't see my presentation. Let me close it again. Maybe Anwar can share it for me.
Sure.
Thank you.
So whenever you want to go to the next slide, just say next.
Okay.
Okay.
So Thank you. I'm going to talk to you about our INNOValley Proof-of-Concept Fund. So Anwar, you can go next. Thank you. Next, Anwar. Thank you. So we come from Nova University in Lisbon. Nova is divided in several research institutes and faculties spread all around the great Lisbon area. We are specifically from ITQB. It's in number 8 in Oeiras. Our research areas are mostly chemistry, biological chemistry, microbiology, and plant sciences. Next. So our program, this program was launched in 2021, and it was born from a collaboration with the municipality of Oeiras. This municipality is very committed to science, and it allocates 1% of their budget to research and innovation. So from this collaboration, this proof of concept was born. Now integrates not only ITQB, but other institutes from the Oeiras area, such as the Institute for Medical Systems Biology and the National Institute for Agronomy and the Veterinary. Annually, we fund 4 projects, each one with a total of 50K. This is for projects in low TRL, so 2, 3 until maximum 4. And the project execution is 1 year. Next. So, of course, the objective of this fund is trying to push science forward and promoting translational science, but it has helped us also in the scouting of projects and to be aware of research and technologies existing in the institutes and helping us create our portfolio and to also follow these projects. Also, it helps funding very early research that normally doesn't have any other financial support. It helps us de-risk the innovations, and it's an opportunity for researchers and young postdocs to acquire an entrepreneurial mindset. Next. So after the structure of our fund and before the attribution of the prizes, after the launch, the call is launched, we have a little Q&A session with the researchers who are interested in applying. Then we start a period of scouting. This can be either by approaching groups that we already in our office we have like a good contact with, or new groups that we know that might benefit from these funds. We also have a little Q&A with the panel of evaluators to explain how is it going to work, the fund. Then after the final closing of the applications deadline for submitting the applications, the panel of reviewers does a first stage of evaluation. This is a written evaluation where from all the submitted projects, the 8 best projects are selected. And these 8 projects move to the next stage of evaluations where they have to do a 5-minute pitch, and it's followed by a 10-minute Q&A from the evaluators. And then from this session, the panel gets to the decision of the 4 winning projects. An important aspect is that we were able to integrate the final award ceremony into BioMeet. This is a national flagship biotech event, so it's a very good opportunity not only for the winning projects, but to all the projects and all the researchers to have contact with industry, networking, etc. And also to mention that part of the fund, it's a prize attributed by Patentry. It's a Portuguese IP law firm that showed interest in contributing with an award for IP consultancy to one of the winning projects. Next. So here are a few images of the 4 editions that we had until now. And the 4th edition is a small video. If you can press play, you can have a look. I think it's without sound, but you can have an idea This is the award ceremony included in the biomeet. Thank you. Next, please. So far, this program had a total of 850K funds. We have a panel of more than 15 external and international evaluators that are selected according to the projects that apply. There's a 20% success rate from the applying to winning. We have attributed 17 awards. There's been 10 patent submissions since the beginning of the fund. There were 16 new researchers recruited with the budget of the fund. Also important is that projects, not only the winning projects, but also projects that just apply to the fund, were able to secure a total of 260K of follow-up and external funding, such as Caixa Impulse and ERC POC. And also, we have at the moment 2.75 million of pending external follow-up funding from applications of projects that applied to the proof of concept. And we have now 2 spin-offs about to be created. So this might not seem a lot, but it's really a shift in our institute performance. Before this proof of concept, our institute had 0 to 1 patent applications per year. There was no kind of translational funding, and there were no spin-offs also. So next. Okay, I'll tell you now a story of one project. So this project, it's from a research group. It's Plant Shield. It relates to solutions that transform agro wastes into biostimulants. So they applied to the first edition of the fund in 2022, and they were not successful. They didn't win the proof of concept. After this, they applied to external fund. They applied to a ERC, which they won. They applied a second time to the INNOValley Proof-of-Concept. This time, not the principal investigator, but one of the researchers applied as the lead applicant, and they were able to secure the proof-of-concept. And since then, they have been included in several entrepreneurship programs. They were in a hackathon in Ljubljana, and more recently, they were in the Biotope Bootcamp in Belgium, and they are really about to launch their startup. So this is a story of a project that actually didn't win the first time, but made such a progress in great because of this application to the fund. Next. So, and to finalize, just I want to leave you a few key points that contribute to the success of this fund. We believe that having an easy application form, it's very, very beneficial, and it makes that the researchers don't get scared by the form, and they apply, they are willing to apply. Also, our budget is very flexible. There's no overheads, and you can use it for whatever, for research, you can use it for IP, for business development. It's very flexible. This is a great benefit. Also, postdocs can apply to this fund, not only lead investigators, group leaders, but postdocs also can apply, and other researchers. And also the fact that we use an external evaluation panel gives a lot of credibility to the evaluations, also gives access to other networks, and these evaluators also end up acting as advisors to these researchers, not only as an evaluator, and there's here then a relationship that is built. Thank you, and this is it from my side.
Thank you very much, Joanna. and I think it's an excellent initiative and an example of a project that is so much more than just an ordinary investment fund. It's something that brings difference to the region, to the municipality. Since there are no questions yet, don't worry, Joanna stays with us, and there will be a time for questions also to her in the second part. So please write down your questions, and we quickly move to our second speaker, to PJ de Queker. Just few words of introduction about him. He's an innovation manager in Hasselt University, Faculty of Business Economics, where he supports researchers in creating spin-offs. And he's been involved closely in the Nascent spin-off journey, helping to guide the project through the university industrial development, funding, and tech transfer process from the academic insight to the company formation. PJ, whenever you're ready, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Christian, can you confirm that you can see my presentation?
Yes, we can see.
All right. Well, thank you for the introduction, and thank you, ASTP, for the invitation. So indeed, my name is PJ de Queker. I'm the IOF manager at the Faculty of Business Economics at Hasselt University, which is the youngest university in Belgium, in Flanders. Today, I want to tell you the story behind Nascent, which is a spin-off from our faculty that won the ASTP Deal of the Year award. I'm not going to do a startup pitch about the company itself. My focus is going to be on the knowledge transfer mechanism, how a structured university support system turned a piece of social science research into a company, and why that makes it a best practice model, and how the story is now changing also the culture inside our faculty. A quick word on me. I joined Hasselt in November 25 after an extended corporate career in global marketing and consumer insights. So I bring an industry lens to knowledge transfer, bridging academic research, market validation, and company creation. So let's begin. Let me frame the problem first, because it explains why this deal matters to our knowledge transfer community. Roughly 2 out of 3 high potential startups don't fail because of the technology or the market. They fail because the funding team falls apart. Co-founder conflict is consistently one of the top causes of early stage failure. The interesting thing for us as knowledge transfer professionals is that this is a soft skills problem. It's about personality, about complementarity, and the fit between people, and not about hard skills on a CV necessarily. And it's exactly the kind of avoidable evidence-based problem that university research can address. So keep that in mind when you listen to the Nascent story, because Nascent came from genuine academic research in our faculty, work by the professors Pieter van de Kerkhof and Jelle Schepers in 2019, 2020. They did research on entrepreneurship, on team diversity, and what actually drives entrepreneurial success. And their core insight is simple but powerful. Who you build a company with matters as much as what you build. Most matchmaking and team formation focuses on hard skills. For example, the combination between the engineer and the salesperson. Nascent flips that and matches and assesses founders on soft skills, on personality and fit. So out of that research came a scientifically grounded platform. It can match entrepreneurs looking for a co-founder, and it can assess existing co-founder teams to surface friction before it becomes fatal. And I want to stress that this is a social sciences answer to a real ecosystem problem, and that becomes important for the knowledge transfer lesson that I'm sharing, and that was awarded by ASTP. So this is the heart of the tech transfer mechanism, and it's the part I'd like you to take home. In Belgium and in Flanders specifically, we have a program called IOF, which stands for Industrial Development Fund in Dutch. It's a fund to help universities bridge the gap to the market, and each university uses it in its own way. At Hasselt University, we use the IOF fund to allow for step-by-step project financing, and Nascent moved precisely through the different IOF stages before becoming a company. So first, there was obviously exploration. Is there a real market? Is there a real problem? Then we moved to a concept, a deeper market research, and building a first version of the software, and then proof of concept, a working prototype, IP protection, and a solid business plan. And only then in April 2025 did it become an incorporated spin-off. So you're looking at a journey of almost 4 years. And the key word here was really de-risking. Each gate released a next bit of support and funding only when the evidence justified it. So this is exactly the bridge between proof of principle and proof of concept that risk-averse seed investors typically demand before they look at a deal. And it's why this staged model is so valuable for knowledge transfer. Now, who actually made this happen? So 2 roles working together, because at Hasselt University, we use those IOF funds to strengthen the central tech transfer office, but also put innovation managers or business developers as close to the researchers and faculties as possible. So on one side, the embedded IOF managers like myself, these are business developers sitting inside the faculty. The strength here is continuity. The Faculty of Business Economics has always had one dedicated business developer for the last 5 years. You had Ilse Kretskens. She drove the initial exploration in 21 and 22. Then you had my predecessor, Lotte Verdonk, who had the heavy lifting with concept and proof of concept. And then I picked it up for launch, for licensing, and for the spin-off formalization. The project was always carried by someone who was inside the faculty and close to the scientists in question. On the other side, you obviously had a central TTO, a central tech transfer office, which works for all faculties. They've helped with spotting the eligibility, structuring the IP, which is hard for software-based, non-patentable assets like algorithms and assessment frameworks, and also handling the licensing between the university and the new company. And finally, they opened the doors to the local startup system. So together, we delivered a full chain of support: the business case, the market validation, the prototype support, the IP and licensing, and then also recruiting an external CEO. I'll say a bit about that in the next slides. So why are we calling this a best practice model and rather than just a nice story? Because we believe, and it was part of our pitch to ASTP, that there are 4 replicable lessons for other TTOs. So one is that structured stage gate funding, the exploration concept, proof of concept is a ladder and also a blueprint for de-risking opportunities. It keeps the academic rigor, but it bridges the funding gap that kills so many promising innovations. To the embedded continuous expertise, putting dedicated business developers inside the faculty as close to the researchers as possible. It beats handling it between disconnected offices. Then recruiting the CEO externally, strategically, and having the funds to fund that CEO for a couple of months and get her, in this case, up and running. Academics often lack operational experience, so we brought in an external CEO and we helped with the recruitment. That was a critical success factor, and obviously the Nascent tool was also very good at matching the skills between the new CEO and the other two founders. And then 4, maybe most important for this audience, the non-STEM valorization. Nascent proves that humanities and social science research can still follow the same IP and commercialization pathways as technical innovations. You just need to have the correct assessment criteria to recognize those assets and carry them through. Then the outcome is obviously what made it the deal of the year. So in 2025, it was launched in April as a proper company. It was established at the Corda incubator, which is one of the biggest tech hubs in Europe, close to Hasselt University, where they started running actual pilots and the first clients. They certainly got traction. They have more than 100 users in the matchmaking track currently. Several co-founder teams already assessed, and the first success stories. and new co-founder relationships that are being formed through the platform. And then they are doing a co-founder roadshow inside Belgium and also in the Netherlands and part of Germany. They're looking for international expansion, and they're getting some traction. It's only the second spin-off from our Faculty of Business Economics in 18 years, but it certainly drew some attention, and also in the press, like the biggest business newspaper in Belgium paid some attention to it. They wanted a catchy headline, so they called it the Tinder for startups, which is a little bit of a reduction of the academic research that actually went into it, but that's how the press works. They need catchy headlines. This is a slide that I most enjoy showing because it shows why it matters culturally. When Nascent launched, we didn't just send an email within the faculty. We threw a baby shower for the faculty members. So to come and meet and greet the new baby, the founders presenting, colleagues gathering, and yes, we also had a teddy bear and cake. It sounds lighthearted, and it was warm and fun, but it was a deliberate tech transfer move for a faculty that hadn't produced a spin-off in 18 years. The baby shower made commercialization more visible, more normal, something to celebrate. And colleagues who had never thought of themselves as entrepreneurs suddenly saw a tangible example in their own faculty, actually. So it had real effect. It sparked new commercialization conversations among colleagues and PhD researchers. So our faculty has about 150 professors and PhD researchers, and it sparked some new ideas. People coming to me to talk about being the next Nascent, or at least having some exploration and some IOF funding to look at some potential. So what's actually changed inside the faculty? So as I mentioned, there's now more of a pipeline of ideas. PhD researchers ask fairly early in their journey whether their own work could become a venture. The teaching has become more practice-based. We're a school of business economics, or faculty of business economics, and the professors teaching entrepreneurship are now actually entrepreneurs. So it helps with the impact that they have and they can show. It's Nascent is now a very visible role model, a concrete example to make valorization more achievable and less abstract. And then the broader knowledge transfer lesson is that one well-supported deal, which is made visible, creates a stronger valorization culture, and the return is more than just a single company. So let me close with the one message I'd like you to leave with. These knowledge transfer systems are about enabling impact. Nascent didn't win the deal of the year because of a single brilliant idea. It won because of a structured, embedded support system, those staged IOF fundings in faculty business developers, and a strong tech transfer office. It carried good research all the way from a research question a couple of years ago into an incorporated company. And along the way, it made commercialization more contagious inside our faculty. And for those of us building knowledge transfer systems, that's the takeaway. Invest in a mechanism, embed the expertise, de-risk in stages, and dare to value non-STEM research, and make the wins visible. I think the culture change that we're seeing in our faculty is also something that others can achieve. Please also check out Nascent at nascent.live, especially if you're involved in startups. The Nascent co-founder matchmaking tool might actually be a service that you're interested in. It actually improves, scientifically improves startup success rates. So if you're involved in that, make sure you check out the tool. My pitch wasn't about the tool itself, but it can be interesting for several of you. And yeah, with that, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you. And I would be glad to take your questions in the second half of this call, once Christian opens it up for questions.
Thank you very much, PJ. And thank you especially for those slides about replicable lessons. I believe that's one of the things that also during the voting made people choose your deal, your project. And the slide about the baby shower, I think it's really important to celebrate the achievements and to recognize them and to disseminate them, and also ASTP Awards is organized for that reason. Let's move to our third speaker now. And once again, if you have questions, please put them in Q&A section in the right. For this last presentation, we would like to make you familiar with the winners of the Digital Innovation and AI category, which is Center for Transfer of Knowledge and Technologies at Odessa National Economic University in Ukraine. And their winning project is InnoHub, a digital platform which is still under development, designed to support scientists and innovators and businesses and investors throughout the commercialization process. We will hear about it more from our speaker, Professor Oleksandr Litvinov, who is vice rector of this university and also head of this project. And what I would like also to mention, he's involved in development of the Ukrainian Technology Transfer Alliance, which is also now part of ASTP NAC committee. Oleksandr, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Christian. Yeah, we are very happy to become a member of NAC. And first of all, I want to say that today, all the day, we don't have electricity, but we manage it. We have a great sun, we have a solar panel systems, so we hope that it will be no problem for us, but please excuse us, we will have some problem with internet connection. Today we are presenting InnoHub, a digital marketplace for innovation projects and expertise. InnoHub was created, as Christian mentioned, in Odessa National Economic University, the main academic institutions in social science, not only in economic science, in the south of Ukraine. The main idea of the project is to connect researchers, businesses, and investors in one digital space in Ukraine. We want to research results not to remain only inside universities or laboratories. They should become real solutions for business and economy and society. InnoHub helps turn academic expertise into practical value for business. It's a digital marketplace for innovations and expertise powered by AI tools. For businesses, it provides convenient access to verified scientific expertise, research capabilities, and ready to implement or high potential innovation solutions. For researchers, InnoHub serves primarily as a support instrument that helps transform research outcomes into the language of business. The platform assists scientists in articulating the practical and economic value of their developments, estimating implementation budgets, identifying target audience, shaping value propositions, preparing solutions for market engagement and commercializations. In this way, InnoHub acts not only as a matchmaking platform, but as a translations layer between scientists and business, helping convenient scientific results into understandable, applicable, and economically meaningful opportunities. Ultimately, the platform strengthens transfer processes and supports the creation of sustainability partnership for innovation implementations. The project was created within the European Union Framework Program for Research and Innovation Horizon 2020 during September 24 and August 25. During this period, we held more than 12 workshops with more than 500 participants. The InnoHub pilot program involved 11 projects from 6 universities and 1 research institutions. 8 teams reached demo day. In addition, 3 cooperation agreements were signed after this. This number shows that the platform didn't remain just an idea. It was tested with real teams, real projects, real businesses, real investors. How does InnoHub work? The platform has several key elements. The first is a personal AI assistant InnoHub agent. It supports users at different stages of working with the platform. The second is the researcher's personal account. Here, researchers can add personal data, create projects, and work with materials. The third element is basic templates and AI recommendations. They help prepare a value proposition, budget, one-pager, and pitch deck. On the business side, there is a company business page. A company can create its profile and submit business requests there. There is also a new one, project marketplace, with more than 40 projects and convenient search and filtering. Separate innovation ecosystem is also being formed, bringing together organizations that can support innovation projects. Ukrainian Transfer Technology Alliance, it's the biggest and one for now in Ukraine associations of all transfer technology centers in Ukraine. The logic of platform is simple. We need idea. After this preparation, publication, partner, search for collaboration, and results. First, the researcher creates a project and use templates and AI assistant to prepare materials. After that, the project is published on marketplace. A company or investor can browse the project, use filters, and find solutions that match their needs. Then parties can make contact, discuss cooperation, and move toward partnership. The platform also includes the innovation ecosystem of Ukraine page. Its purpose is to present organizations that support innovations in Ukraine. Science parks, technology transfer offices, technology parks, laboratories, accelerators in university structures. Users can find partners, explore their services, and understand who they can cooperate with. This is important because technology transfer is not the work of the one platform, for example, InnoHub. It's always the work of an ecosystem. I would also like to mention that InnoHub pilot program. The program involved 11 teams, as I mentioned before, 5 mentors and 3 experts, 8 innovation projects. This projects covered medicine, agriculture, maritime technology, energy, food technology, digital services, education. For example, HexaShield, the project HexaShield is a multi-level protection technology for medical facilities. BVTS is a compact ship ballast water treatment system. INNOValley in coffee lab in English, is a project in the field of coffee production. Boost is a platform for personalized training of small business employees. This example shows that university innovations can be very different in Ukraine, but all of them need proper packaging, presentation, and access to potential partners. This is exactly where InnoHub helps. To conclude, I would like to emphasize that main idea. InnoHub is not just a website and not just a project database. It's a digital tool that helps turn academic expertise and ideas into real value for businesses. We believe that the future of science and business in Ukraine lies in collaboration. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Oleksandr. That's a really interesting example of a tool which is crucial in today's activities of knowledge transfer offices, and of course raises a lot of questions. How can AI reduce the routine work? How we can, using such tools, lower barriers of commercialization or ease the contact? So thank you very much for this showcase. And I have to say, of course, that it's especially impressive when we know that you develop all this all the time, working under attack and constant unstable war times. So that's a real inspiration. Thank you very much to all the speakers, and we've got first question. So I believe that's the first one, and the next will follow. But if not, I'm not sad at all, because I've got so many questions myself that I will be happy to use the rest of the time. So we've got a question to PJ, question from Elena Sonville. PJ, you said you're one of the smallest university in Flanders. If I understand correctly, you have 3 business developers working successfully in the faculty. Are they dedicated to that faculty only?
So yeah, the IOF fund in total is a government fund of around 60 million, if I'm not mistaken. And Hasselt University, as it's the smallest university, gets around 2.5 million. And we use a large part of that fund to put business developers in faculties. So when I spoke about Ilse and then Lotte and then me, that's one mandate. So Lotte was my predecessor and Ilse was the predecessor before that. They're still active in the faculty. Ilse decided to pursue a PhD. Lotte became the research manager. So there is some continuity between the 3 of us, but there's only one business developer within the faculty, and I'm fortunate enough to still be in touch with the people before me, but there's only one role.
Thank you. And we've got next question also from Elena, if I pronounce well. Question to Joanna this time. For your proof of concept, is it 50,000 euro plus 1 year salary for the candidate?
Thank you for the question. So when you apply to the fund, in the application form, there's a place for you to describe how you're going to use this 50K. So there's a budget description, and you can allocate this 50K normally to whatever your research needs to move forward. So it's either you invest this money in the technology, in materials, again, in a business plan, market search. You can also allocate it to hire normally a student. The candidate, normally he's working already in the university, so he already normally has a salary, but this 50K can be allocated to hire a student or a researcher for 1 year, if that's the only use you want to give to the fund.
Thank you. And before next question, if I may, just one follow-up question to that one. Do you support in some way the candidates that don't qualify for the financement, don't receive the funds, the proof of concept fund?
Yes. So basically, so as this works as a scouting tool, also all the projects that we identify with potential, from that moment we start following them. Like we try to have like monthly meetings with the researchers, try to support them in whatever they need. So we try to do these supports to all the projects, not only the winning projects. And yeah, it happens that sometimes we've been following closely non-winning projects with great potential. Yes.
Thank you. And now we've got questions to Oleksandr and to our guest from Odessa, because with Oleksandr we have Christina, who's also a project staff member. So the question from Iliana Madina. Thank you very much for the interesting presentations. I have a question regarding InnoHub. How do you motivate all those different actors to have a look and be active and maybe register on the platform?
If I may, I will answer the question. Thank you for that. We have different methods to motivate all those who are interested in this platform. First of all, we have different trainings for those who are willing to take part, who are willing to present their idea how to do that. At the same time, there were training sessions for entrepreneurs to see what they can gain for entering this platform. And also there is the kind of gamification. You know, it can be pretty inspiring. With the help of artificial intelligence, we can introduce different gamification ways to have different achievements. Like, you know, it is done in, for example, something like those apps for learning languages, when you can have different achieves by doing something. So it actually stimulates those who are part of the platform.
Okay, thank you. And we've got another question also regarding InnoHub. AI matches the actors and the topics. Is that correct? Could you give some more examples of AI tasks? Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you for the question. So the task of the artificial intelligence is not only to match the topics that can be connected, like I'm interested in A, and the person is also interested in that, and we can be connected. The idea is to translate the languages, but not like the languages, English, Belgium, and so on, but the languages of different people. For example, we are academic staff, and we are talking about academic language, but there are entrepreneurs and they are practicals, and of course they are speaking other language. So the idea is to formulate our ideas to them and to make them more interesting for them. At the same time, the artificial intelligence also creates something like a form of presentation, gives the guidance. It also can help to create a budget. So a lot of ways to use artificial intelligence inside the platform.
Yeah, I want to add that for now, I think that the situation is the same in other countries of Europe. Resources doesn't know what does it mean, the budget, the customer, and something marketing, something like this, and the business doesn't understand what resources mean by some technical phrases and words. So that's why we help researchers to understand business, and business to help understand resources, and also to help scientists and researchers to count budget and other very important thing to talk with investors.
Okay, so since I can't see now any new questions, then one more question from me to Joanna, because I'm really curious. How did you manage to convince the regional partners, especially the municipality, to get so deeply involved in your activity and in developing that fund. And if you could advise the other universities or other knowledge transfer offices who would like to, with limited resources, who would like to replicate the initiative that you created, what would be your advice to start with?
Thank you for the question. So to answer the first question, I was not involved in the beginning of the project, but as I mentioned, so I don't know like all the specifics how the deal was, but this is a municipality in the region that really believes in science and has like part of their municipality money is allocated to invest in science and research. So this makes that they want, they want to also create an ecosystem in Oeiras, and they are very active in this kind of initiatives, not only in this fund, but in engaging with the citizen science. So the municipality is very engaged with the science. And what kind of advice I could give for institutes with not a lot of resources. So we are also an institute with not a lot of resources. We had this great opportunity and we have this partnership. I would say try to approach your municipality or try to find other partners that could help you get a fund. You can start even with a small fund because you start by creating this culture, and also you start engaging with the researchers and trying to change the mentality. And that's harder than it's more important than the amount of the money that you get, because once they get this mindset, again, even if they don't win, they will look for other funds, more translation, more turn to innovation.
Thank you very much. And now, short question to PJ, because this thing that Nascent does is really extremely interesting. And when I just found out, I'm sure I'm not the only one that when read that 65% of technological startups fail because of the conflicts, then it was a huge surprise. Although we all know at least one of such startups. But I would like to ask, because your company, so the Nascent company is developing, and what's the involvement of KTO now in the company? Is it already separated from the university, or you still support it? And I'm asking about this also in the context that you mentioned that that the hiring of external CEO also was an important event in the development of the company.
So yeah, yes, it's a separate company. Also, Hasselt University has a policy to not necessarily take equity in spin-off companies. So there was an exclusive license negotiation, but there's no equity. Hasselt University doesn't sit on the board of Nascent. But obviously, two of the founders are still active professors in our faculty, so I see them almost on a daily basis, and they keep me updated. But Nascent is out on its own now. We wish it all the best, and if there are informal contacts that we can still use or apply, we will. But on the other hand, it has to prove itself in a very real marketplace. When it comes to hiring the external CEO, so obviously the two professors, their whole thing is that soft skill matching is incredibly important. So obviously they use that in the selection procedure of an external CEO. They found a young woman who had some experience in consulting, one of the big consulting firms, and was looking for a more impactful venture, and was willing to take the jump to a young company. Obviously, they used their own tool to assess whether there was a good fit between the two founders, the two founding professors, and the new CEO. But at the moment, it's going very well. I see her as the external CEO from time to time, but they operate in another part of the city, in the incubator, and it's especially the founding professors that I still see, but more in an informal way than a formal support mechanism.
Thanks. Thank you very much. And since we are approaching the end of the time, one, I think, last question to all of you, because all of your projects are not finished yet. Your initiative from Portugal is ongoing every year. The company is being developed. The platform also is being developed. So my question would be, what's your next big ambition about this project? What would be the next crucial step, and how can KTO also, and how KTO is important in achieving that next milestone in the development of your initiative? Maybe we can start with Joanna.
Thank you. So I would say that maybe involve more institutes of the Oeiras area and companies. And it would also be a good idea to have a business developer, like to commit this space that actually we don't this knowledge that we don't have, and to support the projects, the winning and non-winning in this area.
Thank you very much. What about you, PJ? What do you think about
I think
that?
the most important future ambition is around the culture. Even though we're Faculty of Business Economics, the actual business creation wasn't necessarily top of mind, and we hope that Nascent has changed that culture. And that when we talk about entrepreneurship now, or when we try to encourage PhD students to think about their future outside of academia, they have an example to learn from, and hopefully it's a permanent change of culture with another spin-off somewhere in the future.
Thank you. And how about Christina and Oleksandr?
We have, thank you for the question. We have like a few different things that we are waiting for. First of all, like in the next 5 years, we actually see us as the leading national technology transfer platform that will connect all the universities inside of our country, all our research institutions, a lot of commercial businesses to become bigger. It's like our first ambition. But at the same time, there is like a second goal that we are actively moving on. It is the goal about our Ukrainian legislation. There is a big problem that the transfer of technology cannot be done correctly. There is no way for all the parties to have joint ownership of the ideas. And like now, it happens like a commercial institution is offering a job for a researcher, or maybe just offers pays for some consulting, and that's all. And after the consultations are done, the ownership goes to this commercial entity, and the university has no ownership of the idea. So this is kind of a big problem, and we are waiting for the legislation to not to stay like this, but to develop. But we are not only waiting, we are a part of creation of a new law as the InnoHub platform, at the same time as part of the Alliance. and we are working to create this new law. So this is our second ambition. So first, to become bigger, and second, or maybe it will be the first, to create the new law that will be better.
Thank you very much. So good luck with development of all your projects, and thank you very much for sharing your achievements today and your stories today so openly, and committing your time. It's not the last time that we meet for TÜV ASTP before the summer break, because in just 9 days, on 9th of July, we will have a next webinar, a webinar about soft skills in knowledge transfer. I think that also the cases that our guests showed today, in most of them, we can find also examples of why soft skills are important. So I invite you warmly to join our TÜV ASTP in 9 days. And today, thank you very much once again. Enjoy the rest of your day, and looking forward to seeing all of you soon, and all of the speakers soon next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.